Brother and UK Goosebumps here, back with another video. And today is a book review. I think the last book review I did was on Well from the Living Room. And I think that was about, must have been maybe 2 weeks or a month ago. I think it was probably a month ago. So quite a while ago. But yeah, this review is going to be on Search 2000, The Haunted Car. I finished it up like a week and a half ago, maybe. So I wanted to do a review on it. And I kind of want to do a different style to my reviews. They're going to be short, sort of fast-paced. They're still going to be in detail, but they're going to be less me telling about all of the story. Then there's still going to be spoilers at the end. I'm still going to say the ending, but it's going to be a bit more fast-paced. So if you guys don't like that or whatever, but I know, like, you know, it's just a book review at the end of the day. So I'm just saying basically a little bit of what the book is about, and I do a little bit of spoilers in mine, and then I say what I think about it. Anyway, this book is about I think his name is Mitchell. Yeah, it's Mitchell. I got confused at first, so I couldn't read his name. Yeah, it's Mitchell and his brother Todd. So Mitchell really is into cars, and his dad is looking for a new one because his car's pretty rubbish. So it was in like a pretty close call at the beginning of this book where they nearly crashed because the car is like lost control or something. So they find this ad in this newspaper, and Mitchell's convinced his dad to go and see the guy who's selling the car. It's like a massive, really nice sports car, but he's selling it for really cheap for what it is. So they go there, and this guy, he's acting really strange. He doesn't really want them to go in the house. He doesn't want them seeing, like, he wants them to just leave and take the car with them. You know, just a pretty weird guy. So they take the car, and it's all good. And then throughout the story, all throughout the first, like, maybe up to page, like, from page, I would say, 20 to page, like, all the way to the end, like, there's all of these, like, weird things that start happening with the car. So my worry with this was that the main character was going to be stupid. Because there's difference between, like I've said this many times before, there's a difference between a well-written character that makes you feel the emotions in the book and a character that just makes you annoyed because they make stupid decisions that doesn't add anything to the book. I was scared it was going to be one of those characters that doesn't add anything to the book and just makes stupid decisions. But no, he didn't, which is good. It actually added to the plot of the story and added to what the story actually was. So basically, Mitchell keeps on being drawn to the car, and he keeps on seeing green glow around the car, and he keeps on going in the car. And every single time, another weirder thing happens. So he'll get locked in for longer. His friends went in there, the aircon turned on, and they nearly froze. Well, they didn't really freeze, they got really cold. But yeah, he keeps on going, and I was worried that was going to be because of him just being stupid and going in. But it turns out, no, there's a ghost that haunts the car. But we'll get onto that now. There's also this girl, Marissa. So Marissa, he's never really seen her before, and she's moved into his street recently, and she always seems to be there when he needs to get out of this car. So Todd, who's really scared of ghosts, his brother, believes that Marissa is the ghost. So they confront her, and then he goes down this thing of believing that Marissa is a ghost. But basically, what it is actually Marissa's trying to warn him about this car that is actually haunted by a ghost. But Mitchell doesn't want to listen, and then eventually, at the end of the book, he does actually find out that she was trying to say that. But yeah, my worry was gone at that point, because I thought that it was going to be because he was a stupid character, but it wasn't. There was a ghost in the car. And the ghost is actually, and this is where it gets interesting and quite dark actually, the ghost is Marissa's sister who died in a car crash, only a month or so before they bought the car. So that's why the dude, who's actually Marissa's dad, wanted to get rid of the car so much. So yeah, it's a pretty brutal story, you know, of a young girl dying in a car crash haunting the car. But there's some really good body horror bits, especially at the end of the book, where Mitchell goes in his last car journey in this car, and he drives off, and he doesn't drive off, the ghost drives him, and the ghost starts talking to him about, oh, I'm gonna crash the car so you can be killed and you can be with me and everything. And I thought that was really cool, and especially the way to describe the things that happened at the end, like her face starts to melt, because basically, as I think she's trying to kill him to get him in the car to be with her forever because she's lonely. but she took him away, and they come back to the house, and the house is on fire. So she did a good deed by taking him away from the house because it was on fire, but she didn't realise. So she ends up dying, and she melts, and there's a really good body horror on that bit. The description is really good. Not necessarily scary, I didn't get scared by it, but like it's really good description. Yeah, so I really like this book. As you can tell, I tried to do that a bit more fast-paced. I don't know if you guys like that or not, if that was too much, but I just wanted to do a vague description, but with spoilers. But yeah. And there's a few other bits in there that are pretty solid. I like the fact that the man doesn't necessarily... I prefer the dude who sold him the car to have a little bit more involvement. I think that would have been cool. I like the fact that the car wasn't... The ghost side of it wasn't really overused. They didn't go straight into the ghost side of things at the beginning of the story. They kind of focused on the car and trying to like kill him slowly, and then they went full on the ghost thing. I like that rather than realising it was a ghost straight away. I really like that part of it. And then at the end, I actually can't remember the end. I don't know if that's a good thing or not. The end, what happens in the end? I remember now. Basically, a guy comes to try and fix the car, or take away the car, I can't remember. And it's not working anymore, the car. And the guy goes, there's no battery in this car, so how could it work? And then the dad and the mum are all shocked, and so is Todd. And then Mitchell goes, oh, well, I guess you'll just have to find out. Because obviously he's been trying to tell them this entire time there's a ghost and they haven't believed him. But Todd kind of knew. I also like the character Todd in this book, because he comes off as like an annoying brother, but they kind of team up. They kind of work together, and like they kind of come to terms with what's happening. And I like that kind of like the siblings trying to figure out more side of thing, rather than like the arguing siblings and the arguing parents, and nobody's agreeing with anyone, and no one believes one of another. Two people agree in this book, and I like that. And also I like the character Marissa, how she actually links into the story of the ghost that's in the car, because without her, number one, she wouldn't have let the people out the car, so that makes sense. And number two, it adds another layer. So even though I've read so many Goosebumps books, it was predictable that Marissa wasn't the ghost. But if you hadn't have read that many Goosebumps books, you would have thought she maybe was. And so it adds another layer of like just a plot line to it. So I really enjoyed this book. There's a lot of layers that add up to each other, and yeah, everything makes sense in the end, and it's just a nice book. It did take me a while to read it just because I didn't have a lot of time, but yeah, very solid book. So I hope everyone enjoyed this review, and yeah, thank you for joining in. Also, I wanted to say thank you to Michael Goosebumps fan, because he included me in his Q&A for 4,000 subs. So go and check those out, and subscribe to him, because he was at 4,000 subscribers, which is amazing. Yeah, so thank you everyone, hope you enjoyed this review.